Hi, this is Roger, thanks for dropping by. Welcome to this dull and dreary day. I've had to wait this long for it to stop raining. That's just the dehumidifier that I'll turn off again in a minute. It doesn't make too much noise, so it shouldn't be a big deal. If I turn it off, I've got to reset the whole thing because it doesn't keep the settings. Some things do nowadays, don't they? But that one doesn't. Yes, so this is the day when everything to do with my channels changes over. But before we get on to that, let's do all the other stuff first. Archery yesterday, despite yellow weather warnings for extreme thunderstorms and a month's worth of rain in some places in one day, blah 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 blah. It was sunny most of the day with some cloudy spells. Did we get any rain? Not one spot. Why bother listening to the weather forecast nowadays? However, they got this morning right. I got woken up by the rain, heavy rain, and it's been raining ever since. Puts Mojo's nose out of joint because he goes to go out and he gets like one pour and then he looks around and he goes, and back in again. He has been out though, it has been stopped a short while now. So yes, everything's absolutely soaking wet. I won't have to water the garden for a while now, not even if the sun comes out again. It lasts longer now because the sun is in the garden for a much shorter amount of time. It's not drying things out anywhere near as much as it was earlier in the year. So that's that. Yeah, as I said, the archery went well. We actually got there 5 minutes early this time instead of 1 minute to go, and my son thoroughly enjoyed it, and I must admit that's one of the better Christmas presents I've ever had, because it was nice to go out, be out in the fresh air for all day basically, even though it was a 10 till 3-ish, 3:30 by the time we packed up, but it was just nice to be out. And do something different. I may join, but their subscription year starts in May, and at the moment they're transitioning, but it hasn't been done. So basically, to join the club you have to pay for a year. Doesn't matter which month you join in. So to join now would be a bit silly because I'd have to pay for a whole year, and we're coming up to the time of year when weather could be quite restrictive to actually being outside in the middle of a field. It's a school playing field, you know, they're football pitches and all that sort of stuff where we shoot. And it would be silly, I think, to join this time of year when the weather's gonna, you know, it's freezing cold? No. You know, when your hands aren't right, is it no? Rain? No. Both? Definitely no. Hell no, as they say. Yeah, so it's not the best time of year to join. However, to join at the beginning of the summer season next year makes sense. And I didn't realise, but they actually allow you to pay off your fee in 12 equal instalments. You set up a standing order and just pay for 12 months. So at least it spreads the load. You don't have to pay it all at once. There's no extra charge for doing that. You just, you know, if you join, you owe for a year. So if you join and after 6 months you don't go again, it doesn't matter. You still pay for the year. There's no refunds or anything. So we shall see. But what might be nice would be to go on another one of these beginners courses, because I do really enjoy them. It's a friendly bunch of people. It works nicely. You know, as I said, it's incredibly good value for money to pay 70 quid for 2 whole days, full instructions and all the kit. You know, you just have to turn up. They supply everything. So 35 quid for a whole day's instruction, which is, you know, is good quality instruction, and the loan of the kit, everything provided for you, sort of thing. They even do tea. As I say, they do tea and coffee. What they do is there's some tea and some coffee there, and some cups and a kettle. Blue Peter jobby. So you take your own lunch, basically. Yeah, so I may join next year. the conflict of interest is the obvious day to go is Saturday. Weekdays you can only shoot in the evenings and not all evenings, because obviously when the kids are at school they're using the playing fields, so you know, archery is out of the question on weekdays. They have the fields weekends and most evenings as well. So for me to go in the evening is not that practical. By the time I've eaten and everything, I've had enough for that day, and the thought of actually going out and, you know, and starting to do activities and then getting home late and everything, it's probably not going to happen. Weekends, Sunday chat is important to me. It's a video that I don't like to miss under any circumstances. It's the one, being a mercenary, that earns me the most money because it gets the most number of views. So it's important to me. Helps pay the rent and all that cobblers. Yes, so it comes down to, I would go on Saturdays. Well, a lot of the orchid shows are on Saturdays. Events at Burnham's are on Saturdays. Some of the bonsai shows are on Saturdays. The Orchid Society meetings are on Saturdays. So that cuts some of the Saturdays out. And then you impose, well, not all Saturdays, even through the summer, are going to be nice weather, you know, and you're left with lower choices, lower number of Saturdays. And then there's the bother factor. You know, you get up in the morning and you think, oh, I could go and shoot today. You know, and if that happens, knowing me, I'm not going to go. So I still don't know whether if I pay for it, the incentive will be to go, obviously. But we shall see. They allow you to use their kit 5 or 6 times after you've joined for a fee of £2, which, you know, it's nothing, is it? You can't even get a coffee for that. Well, you can at this house, but not outside in the retail world you can't. Yes, so you'd have the loan of the kit for 6 times. If I only went 6 times in my year that I joined, that wouldn't be very good value for money. That wouldn't be good use of funds. So I'll have a think through and see whether it's worthwhile next year, but certainly not this year. The weather's already getting to the point where, you know, I mean, if today was, well, it's a Sunday, so they could be shooting today. But what's the grass going to be like? What's the field going to be like? It's going to be muddy. Everything's soaking wet, you know. So it wouldn't be very pleasant like it was yesterday, which was very pleasant. Done well, actually. That's 4 days now, 2 courses over 2 days each, and no rain. I mean, the first course was in a heat wave. It's more about trying to get out of the sun rather than get out in it. But yeah, so anyway, that's that done, and it worked well. So that's over now. Stuff coming up as a consequence of the archery taking place on its scheduled days. That means this coming Saturday is the Bournemouth Orchid Society show, and I'll be going because the archery is not going to get rescheduled, so I'll definitely be going to Bournemouth Orchid Society show. Whether Hannah's going to come down for that weekend or not, we haven't decided yet. She said, you know, we'll make the decision nearer the time. She's had a lot on this month, and I think this coming weekend would be the first weekend that she's got to herself, and she might want it for herself, you know. So we shall see. She may be down for it, but I'll be going to that show one way or the other, either via Hannah's and back down to the show, or direct from here. So I'll be there one way or the other. I don't film at that show. That's a historical thing, but I don't film at Bournemouth Orchid Society shows. They don't get free advertising off of me. But I can still go and enjoy the show and meet up with some old friends from when I belonged to that society. So it's still an enjoyable day out. There's just 1 or 2 people that I skirt round, basically. And they do the same. If they see me coming, they move. There you go. And I've got a feeling that Lynn's not going to be there. I think she might be away. I'm not sure. But anyway, Alan and Sue will be there. There'll be plenty of people there that I know. So, and I'll probably do what I've normally done. If Hannah comes down, she'll do it for me because she enjoys doing it. And she'll take lots of stills, nice close-ups and things of some of the more unusual or the better orchids. And then I'll turn that into a slideshow. So there will be a video about the show, but it won't be a videoed actual, like I would normally do for other shows, let's put it that way. It'll just be some stills and a piece of music and everything, and names and stuff like that won't be in it. Faces, no, you know, just blooms. That's all I'm prepared to do for them. So that'll be that, and then not the following week, but the week after that is our show, Wessex Orchid Society show. That I will be filming. Hannah won't be coming to that because she'd have to take a day off work and come down on Friday. So it's just not practical, so she doesn't come to that one. Well, she has done. But the autumn show, the Wessex Autumn show is... I'm going to put it forward after the show, once we've seen how it goes, because it's always a quieter show than our spring one. It's non-competitive, so it's, you know, it's some traders and a big display in the middle of the room, which is not all orchids. It's house plants, tropical plants, ferns, all sorts of stuff. The lady who does that does a magnificent job putting it all together, but it's not an orchid display as such. There's just lots of orchids in it, sort of thing, and it's not competitive, so there's no awards. Well, actually, I think there's a best in show or something like that. Probably. See, this is something else I complain about. Nobody takes any notice because it's how it's always been done. Some people are reluctant to change. You get best species in show, best hybrid in show, and best in show. Well, best in show has already got an award, hasn't it? Because it has to be one of those two. It can't be another plant, can it? Can't be three plants. You can't have best species, best hybrid, and then something else, and still be best in show. So one of those two plants gets the best in show as well. I'm sure there's a better way of doing that. Anyway, so that's what's sort of coming up immediately, and then cross over into other channels as they are now. I think the day after our show is the Heathrow Bonsai show. That's one of the biggest in the country. It's massive. It's well worth going. My problem is the proximity to the day before. The show for me, the Wessex show, is a very long day. I like to get there early to help set up. It's open to the public from 11 till 4. So we can't start packing up until 4. It's at least half an hour, more like 3/4 of an hour. It's a very, very long day for me, and I have to spend an amount of it on the entrance table as treasurer to take the payments from people coming in. Now I get some help with that. I don't do it totally on my own. There's an assistant treasurer, and there's somebody else likes to sit in as well, promoting, you know, see if we can get some new members. But nonetheless, it's a very long day, and our catering manager, Sue, is away. I think that might mean that Alan's away as well. They go as a pair. That'll be a shame, because that makes the interactions with the kitchen nice, great, you know, if you know, they're there sort of thing. Because I mean, you know, the first thing is they get in the door. Before they've even taken their hat and coat off, I'm in there. Is the bacon rolls ready yet? Give us a chance. Let us know when they're done. And you know, it's a bacon roll and a coffee, and then I finish that bacon roll and go straight back up and get a second one. If you get both at the same time, the second one's cold, isn't it? So you get one, go back and get another one, and that sets me up for the rest of the morning, and then have some lunch sort of thing, and it's homemade cakes, homemade soup, you know, it's good stuff. It's a nice friendly day out, but it's a long day. Following that, which includes a fair drive, we move to the next day, and we're going to do it again with a much longer drive to get there. Day there, most on my feet, looking round and everything, and then back again. I'll enjoy it, but you know, the tiredness factor will really kick in. And last year I got up Sunday morning. I'm always up in time, you know. I'll almost be there the day before the time I get up. But yeah, I got up and I thought, right, bonsai show. I even looked in the mirror and I thought, you're not going to go, are you? And I answered myself, I said, nah. So I didn't go. I was just too tired, and that was at the start of the day. I hadn't even attempted to do that day. I just knew I was so tired from the day before. So I may or may not go to that. We shall see. There's another little bonsai thing that's going to happen that's not too far away, and there's a couple of friends from when I belonged to a bonsai society that will be there. It's an auction, and the novelty value that will probably make me go, even though I've probably got no plans on buying any more trees or anything, but I would like to go because you view in the morning and then the auction starts and there's a break for lunch. Guess what lunch is? The fish and chip shop van in the car park. It's just such a novelty. You know, I mean, those sort of things died out years ago, but there's still one going up in that area. So the van pulls in and you go up and you order what you want. It's cooked for you there and then, you know. So fish and chip lunch. I like the sound of that. Yeah, no good for the diet, obviously, but it's one day, isn't it? You know, I don't worry about that. I mean, yesterday I had a chicken and mayo sandwich for lunch. Well, I'm not supposed to be eating bread, so you know that was relatively healthy, but you know, not my normal food sort of thing. But you know, anyway, it's, like I said, for an odd day, I'll eat whatever's going. You know, I don't worry about this diet thing, which is still working okay. The weight loss is coming off very, very slowly, but it is heading in the right direction. That's all that matters. I've dropped down a little below 12 stone now. My goal is in the not too distant future to reach 11.5 stone. And all you who are going, what the hell's a stone? You know, look it up. I'm not doing kilos. They mean nothing to me. Not at that level. You know, when you get into, you know, the equivalent of hundreds of pounds, the kilos just don't mean anything to me. I'm all right up to like a bag of sugar size. I'm all right up to there. After that, it's pounds and ounces, and in the UK specifically, I don't know whether that translates to other countries as well, but 14 pounds is a stone, and it goes back to the ancient days when weights were pieces of stone, literally. You chip bits off until it was the right weight. All that sort of stuff. So anyway, I'm down below 12. 11.5 would be good, and 11 would be over the moon. But I suspect we'll probably be looking at, you know, around 12 months to achieve that at a very, very slow pace. I mean, I'd like to think I could drop £1 a week. That would be marvellous. Then we'd get to the ultimate goal of 11 stone very, very quickly, but I can't. Some days, some weeks, there's going to be nothing happens, and I'm the same at the end of the week as I was at the start. So it's slow progress. That's how it goes. Yesterday, I felt the effect of those beta blockers. Somebody said it's like driving with a parking brake on, and I felt it yesterday. Things were starting to slow up towards the afternoon. Shoulders were getting stiff. It's getting generally sort of tired, and the trouble is with archery, if you start getting tired, you don't draw the bow to its full draw. Therefore you've reduced the power slightly, which means the arrow doesn't go as straight and it'll drop a bit, so you start missing what you're aiming at, which when they've bothered blowing up the balloons and sticking the balloons on the target is really annoying, because if you don't get it, one of the other two that are with you will, and then you haven't got a balloon to shoot at. Oh. And we had something new this time that certainly didn't happen last time round. They had a tiny little balloon that wasn't blown up much, and they put it on one target, and we formed a queue. Ladies first. and all had one shot each round to the back of the queue until somebody hit the balloon. And then we played, you know, another game. But yeah, they mess about. After lunch on the second day, you've got balloons to shoot at. Once you've cleared your target of balloons, we were first. Tony got very good towards the end, very good. He was hitting a lot of stuff quite consistently. He would make a good archer for a club quite easily without struggling. Because some people, even towards the end of the second day, they still weren't shooting that straight really. They were still doing little things wrong, and every little thing compounds and you miss, basically. But yeah, after we'd cleared all our balloons, the guy blew up another one, so we had one more balloon than everybody else. And Tony hit that first shot, so we were down to no balloons again. And then we had a little disc, probably about the size of the top of my coffee cup, with a pin through it, and he stuck that in various places on the target to show that you could actually use your sight, because you're used to shooting at the same centre of the target all the time, and suddenly you're shooting up there or right down here, you know. So there was quite a few walkies the other side of the target to recover arrows. Well, if you think, if the target you're aiming at is only 6 inches from the edge of the target and you're 7 inches off, which isn't a huge amount at that distance, you've missed the target altogether, and it's in the grass somewhere up the road. And they're not allowed to leave it. If an arrow isn't accounted for, then everybody has to wade in. It has to be found. It's a kiddies playing field. It has to be found, and they got points on both ends. That's why they say no open-toed shoes or anything, closed-toed shoes only. If there's an arrow that's snaked into the grass and you've got open toes, the end that knocks onto the string is pointed. It's quite sharp, and if you walked into that with an open-toed shoe, it would be straight in between your toes. It wouldn't be funny. So, you know, it's all about safety all the time. And things can go wrong, and it's quite amusing actually. It's one of the calls. You've got one whistle for yes, you can go and shoot. 3 whistles means all tools down and you can go and collect arrows. In other words, you know, nobody's holding a bow, everything's safe, you can wander around, get your arrows back, look for lost arrows and everything. But there's another command which is somebody shouts fast, and that means danger, arrows out of the bows, tools down, behind the line until it's solved. And to test it, the guy throws his hat and just shouts fast, and everybody else has to shout fast as well, because somebody could be quite a long way away shooting at another target, so everybody has to shout fast. And I kept saying, you know somebody's going to shoot that hat one day, don't you? The rogue hat has been recovered, we're safe. Still, you know, as I say, safety is important, so it's good fun. I mean, they have actually had a kiddie run out across the field. You know, somebody didn't have full control of their young child. They didn't know they were doing anything wrong. You know, but when you're concentrating, you know, you might not see that out of your, because that's in your peripheral vision sort of thing. You know, so it's quite important. They've had cats and dogs run out on the field as well, and they're not target practice apparently. Dogs anyway. And I found out something that I didn't know. In this country, it is illegal to shoot and kill anything with a bow and arrow. Even like rats, even vermin. It's illegal to shoot anything with a bow and arrow in this country. I didn't know that. So no hunting, basically. People who liked the idea of the hunting, they set up in the woods like straw animals, you know, that look like deer or look like you know, something like that, and then they have a target on the, you know, on the shoulder area or something, and they pretend they're creeping up on it, and they pretend to hunt, but it's not live targets. You going out or staying in? You don't know, do you? Well, he came out and looked out the door and then decided no, and he looks like he's going back to sleep again. Nice easy life, isn't it? Yes. Right, now on to the changes. Now, this is important. I don't want to lose people because they don't understand what's going on, why, and how to deal with it. So this is important. Right, we start off with the simplest thing. If you are subscribed to this channel, you need to do nothing. Zero, zilch. Because the channel will still be here, you'll still be subscribed after I've changed it. I haven't changed the name of the channel yet. I will be doing that after this video's been actually posted. Yeah? And changing the name of the channel doesn't affect subscription or memberships or anything like that because it's done at a lower level by YouTube. So nothing will change. If you're a member of this channel as it is now, you will still be a member afterwards. Nothing changes for memberships, nothing changes for subscriptions. If you are a patron to the channel, nothing changes because the patron site is linked by the email address, my Google email address that goes with this channel. So nothing changes there either. Yeah? So those people need to do nothing. The only change you will see is the name of the channel will change later on today, and in addition to that you will get an odd gardening video and or bonsai video on this channel. You can choose to watch them or you can choose not to watch them. Like with all YouTube videos, the choice is yours. That's, you know, being emphatic about that. The choice is yours. Oh, I came here for the orchids, and there are some people that only are here for the orchids. Well, don't watch the other videos then. They will be very clearly defined. Right? I'll get to that in a minute. I'm even going to show you. Right, now, on the other side, the gardening and the bonsai bit, that started out as two channels. There was a gardening channel and a separate bonsai channel. The bonsai channel had been running quite a long time. I managed to get that monetized, but I could see that the gardening channel was probably going to take at least a year, maybe even 18 months to get monetized. So I merged the two together, so that channel became Roger's Garden and Bonsai. And that's as it is now today, on Sunday the, whatever it is, 22nd. I'm not going to touch that channel today, and I won't be really touching it again apart from posting the final video on that channel, which will be, like this one, an explanation of why there won't be any more videos on that channel. The videos will be on this channel instead. Now, I'll explain more on that one, but those people on that channel may have some work to do if they want to continue watching my gardening and or bonsai videos, because there won't be any more posted on that channel. If they still wish to see them, they're going to have to come over to this channel and hopefully subscribe. Now, many of the people that went over to the gardening and bonsai channel came from here, yeah? So they're probably already subscribed here anyway, so again, you wouldn't have to do anything, the videos will just move. And it saves you having to go to the other channel to find out if there's anything there to watch, if you don't set notifications. So those people may have to come and find this channel and subscribe to this one to carry on watching the gardening and bonsai videos. But after today, all the videos, apart from that last one on the other channel, will come here. The other channel remains. It's not going to get deleted or anything like that. It will just become dormant. And it will just sit there. So all the history of all the hard work on the garden, taking all the hedges down, attacking the bamboo, putting all the plants in, that history stays on that channel. It's still there. Anybody can go and watch it. Yeah? But My only worry is people who use searches and find that channel by accident and that didn't know it existed and watch a video from months ago. They don't know that channel's dormant, you know, so they end up, oh, I like that, I think I'll subscribe, and then they think, oh, that person doesn't post very often, or he's not going to be posting at all after tomorrow. So that's what's happening. So the channel name here will change, and that will go from Growing Orchids with Roger, that's what it is now, and that will change to Roger's Orchids, Garden and Bonsai. That's the shortest title I could get with all 3 words in. So that will be the channel name change, but that doesn't affect anybody. If somebody who's never heard of me or any of my videos or channels or anything like that searches on YouTube and finds one of my videos, they didn't find it because of the channel name, they found it because of the video title and keywords that might be in the first few sentences of the description. That's how that search engine works on keywords. And it's on video title and a bit of the description. That's where that search comes in. At that point when they find a video, that's where they see the channel name and hopefully subscribe to that channel name because they're new. So for new people, nothing really matters because they'll find this channel possibly by accident, but they'll find it via a keyword in a video. And that brings them over to see a video. At that point they can decide whether they want to stay on the channel or not. That doesn't change. Nothing changes for new people. That's good. The other thing that will change, most people don't even look at, and some people have got devices where they couldn't look at it anyway, like a smart TV, is my description that sits under all of the videos. There's a paragraph or a sentence about the video, the actual one, yeah? And then underneath that are a load of links, yeah? Those are going to change because links to any other channel are coming out, so they won't be there, yeah? No links to channels. There'll still be a link to my Facebook group, that will still be there. There'll still be links to the Patreon site and the Buy Me a Coffee thing. Those will still be there, but not the links to the channels. Those will come out. So yeah, so this video type is the only one in the old style, and I've always said I'll maintain the Sunday chat in the style that everybody's used to, which is the black and orange, you know, sort of thing at the start, the plinky plonky music, which it can really get on your nerves if you watch quite a few videos together. Well, it does me anyway. That's why I changed it. But yeah, this Sunday chat video remains the same. The only thing that you will see is different on this particular video type is the logo. So the Growing Orchids with Roger logo will disappear and the old Roger's Orchids logo will come back. After this one, not on this one. Because this video will be posted under the old channel name and everything, so I'm not changing anything. This video will be posted under Growing Orchids with Roger. Then after it's posted I will change the channel name and update my video start for this type of video to change the logo. That's all I've got to do is change the logo. Right, now within this channel, to make it very obvious that this is a gardening video or this is a bonsai video, I'll show you what they will look like. So coming up now is what the start of any garden video will look like, and before I start it, let me explain. The startup routine has got some words and a video title. I will freeze that when I've updated the video title, because obviously it just says title goes here. That will be the video title. Once I've done that and the video's been created, basically I play it back and I pause that bit at the beginning and I hit a button in my software and it creates a still, a photo of that screen, which has got whatever it is, the picture and the video title on it. I then take it into my photo editing software and amend it to conform with YouTube's prerequisites, and then that becomes the thumbnail, right? So as you watch these bits, just think that after the first couple of seconds the title will be there, that will be the thumbnail, and it's obviously not an orchid video. Okay, so this is what the gardening one will look like. Okay, so that's that, and the thumbnail will be a snapshot of the video at the beginning. Obviously you've got a start and an end. The video itself goes in the gap and that gap's adjustable depending on how long the video is. That's just the mechanics of what goes on. So that's the how the gardening one will look. So you get the pretty little white flowers, the welcome and the video title as a still. The logo will be expanded. That will be made much bigger for the photo, for the thumbnail. Right, now let's have a look at the bonsai one. Okay, so as you can see, that's got quite a long introduction with the music that goes with it. It's been like that for a very, very long time. I didn't want to change the whole concept. So basically that stays the same. The only difference, as you saw, between the start and the end is the actual logo I'm using, which has gone back to Roger's Bonsai and the tree with the sun rising behind it, as opposed to the Roger's Gardening and Bonsai logo that I was using. So that's what they'll look like, and the stills are obvious. The bonsai one is blatantly obvious. You know, you've got the Japanese style building and the Japanese style red fence. It's obviously and Roger's Bonsai in flipping great big letters. I think it's reasonably obvious that's the bonsai video, and it's the same with the gardening one. So they will stick out like a sore thumb. Those that are purists as far as the orchids are concerned can choose not to watch those videos. In the main, those videos will appear on Mondays. There's not enough to have dozens, you know, they pop up now and again, and I will try and make sure that in the main they're posted on Mondays, which is my day off from orchid videos. So they slot into a gap that wasn't being used. Okay, so that's everything that's happening, and it is happening. It's not open for debate anymore. I've had masses and masses of approvals and people saying sounds like a good idea, less work for you, less work for us because we don't have to remember and go and look at the other channel, it's all in one place, all under one roof, all that sort of thing. And I think I've had 5 or 6 out of the hundreds of comments who don't like the idea because they came here for the orchids. Well, tough. Sorry, but you know, I have to cater for the majority, and when the majority is overwhelming, it's not even worth discussing really, is it? So, but it will be obvious, you will know which are orchid videos and which are not. So up to you what you watch, as always. So, oh, excuse me, I was going to yawn then, that's very rude on camera, isn't it? We managed to stop that. I'm only going to show you one plant, and it's not even in flower yet, but it's nearly in flower. And it's a strange one. It's a coleogeny, and the flowers are pretty big, and they're weird because the spike grows out of the new shoot. So the new shoot comes up, leaf starts to open, and a spike comes out of the middle of the new shoot. And at first, this is all there is this bit. And then this bit grows out from lower down the spike and swells up and is in fact the sheath of the bloom that's inside. So these bits will unfold and reveal the bloom on this one first, even though that was the second one to grow. Now that's unusual in the orchid world. And then if the plant's strong enough and healthy enough, when this one drops, this one will push on and open. Yeah? Now, if it's not a very strong plant, and I'm surprised that both of these spikes are twin buds, because it's quite a recent division. This is not a big plant by any means, but both of the new growths have both got a pair of blooms. So this one's going to open first. Not quite sure how long it's going to last. That will be followed by this one, and then providing everything goes well, after those two are finished, these will push on and open as well. So that's quite a prolonged blooming with any luck. And it would be awfully nice if both of these blooms were out for our show. Second Saturday of October. It would be nice if they're still there. We shall see. We shall see. But yeah, you know, you can see if I put my hand there, you can see these are going to be quite large blooms. Yeah, I mean petals and sepals are going to be the size of the bud, aren't they? And they'll open out. So these are going to be quite large. And very attractive. I can't remember whether they're fragrant or not because it was in bloom when I got it. But I can't remember. We will find out. There's another coleogeny with a couple of spikes as well, but that's right up the back. I'm not digging that out. Yeah, there isn't much else that's changed from sort of last time we had a look round, really. Oh, one thing that did change, where's my coffee? 2 sentences in one there. The fan decided to blow Hibiki off the shelf, flat on its face on the floor. Now luckily it's a plant that grows outwards, but the blooms are in the centre. It didn't damage anything. No leaves came off, no canes got broken, and all the blooms were still there in one piece. But yeah, the fan pulled it off. It was the day I was watering, and I'd done half of it, and basically when I come back out to water the rest, so the plant was relatively dry and light as a consequence. And these shelves, these wire bits on the shelves, they're not absolutely flat. So, you know, a plant can tip slightly, and obviously if it's light and the fan just happens to catch a couple of leaves, it can push them over. But yes, unscathed. Thank goodness, because that's a good plant, that is. Oh, just noticed something else I can show you, but can I get at it? Yeah, I think I can. There's one up the back here. One up the back. Can I get at it? Well, the answer is yes. Just. Oh God. Now this is a plant that's not doing very well at all as a plant, but it's managed to bloom. This is my Dendrobium Victoria Regina. The plant has got a new growth. There. That's it. That's the only new growth I've had from the base in a very long time. It hasn't got very good roots, but this is its last cane that it actually grew. It didn't get to full size. It's still got leaves on, but it's having a bloom. Blooms have literally only opened since yesterday. They might have been open yesterday, but I didn't come out here after I got home from archery. But so these are not fully open, but they're not far off. Now this Dendrobium is colour variable at individual plant level depending on its environment. If you can keep it really cool and in light that's not too bright, you will get much, much deeper colours, much deeper purple than that. So they can look quite dark, and the colours are quite dominant when they're like that. This obviously gets quite a bit of light, so yeah. I've got a job to do round here. I don't know whether I can show you. These are the little maintenance jobs that if you ignore them, you can spoil the look of something. If you look at this cluster of buds, there is a piece of the sheath of the cane going across the buds that hasn't broken. It's holding the buds. They're going to deform if they're not released, so I've got to get my scissors and very, very carefully just cut that little piece and release those buds. Otherwise they're going to stay folded. Because the clusters on Victoria Regina can have quite a lot of buds. If you look at this cluster here, you've got the bloom that's open, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 5 other buds to open. And they all come from the same point, and they don't have long stems. So they're all jumbled up together. That's how it is. The only way you get nice spread out flowers is if you don't get many buds on the cluster. I mean, this other one over here, that's got 4, 1 open and 3 to come. But they last quite well, they're not too bad. And that lives right up the back. So I'll put it back in a minute. Right, so that will do for today. As I said, the changes have been well thought out. Lots of people have added in comments and things. Not too many suggestions, although there were a few suggestions for the new channel title, the actual channel name. But as I said, I wanted to get all 3 keywords in and my name for consistency. Well, that's 4 words. So I've kept the channel name as short as it can possibly be. Roger's Orchids, Garden and Bonsai. Can't get any shorter than that. But as I said, the searches tend to look for video names rather than channel names. So if you're outside of YouTube, like if you were just doing a Google search, that's more likely to come up with a channel name. Yeah? So a Google search on Roger's Orchids would still find the channel, even though that's not the channel name anymore, because it's got 2 of the 4 keywords. So Google will still hit that. And if you were searching on YouTube, that would still work. 2 out of the 4 keywords will find the channel name in amongst any others that have got similar keywords. So you can still search for a channel on YouTube, but it's a different type of search. Well, it isn't really, but it's most people use the search in YouTube for a subject, you know, not an individual. Most people who were looking for orchid videos would have the word orchid in their search, or a type of orchid in their search. They wouldn't put somebody's name in there as well, would they? Not unless they already knew of the channel and were trying to find it. So I've thought about the way people search, how people will still find the channel. I'm hoping this channel's still going to grow, and I hope as a consequence of this people aren't going to unsubscribe. Your choice, obviously. And I would hope that, having mentioned that dreaded word subscribe, which means nothing to do with money, it just means you're effectively choosing the channel to be in your feed, your suggested videos. That's all you're doing. And if you don't set notifications on, you don't get pestered with emails. So if you're not subscribed, it would be awfully nice if you did so. And also, now that the video is coming to a close and Mojo's having a sing-song, don't forget the thumbs up. It's right there under your nose. Again, that helps the channel a lot, more than most people think. Basically, when a video is loaded, YouTube has only so many ways to find out how popular that video is. And if it gets 10,000 views and only 4,000 thumbs up, it's not that popular for YouTube. It might be, because there's a lot of forgetful people who just forget to do it. So they might have really enjoyed that video, but if you don't do that, how does YouTube know? There's a lot of people really enjoy a video and still don't leave a comment. How does YouTube know you've enjoyed that video if you don't do that? That's how YouTube tells. So, you know, if a video gets 1,000 views and gets 900 thumbs up, YouTube says, whoa, that channel's doing well, people like that channel, we'll push it. We'll push it under people's noses to see if they, you know, other people, see if they like it. And that's how you can pick up new customers, as I see you, new viewers. On the grounds that, you know, enough people like the video as a percentage game for YouTube to push it under the noses of other people who may have watched similar things in the past, and it'll be right under their nose. So it gives an option of me getting new viewers in, which means the channel's growing. So it is important, that thumbs up. Subscribing is not as important as it once was. The number of subscribers on the channel is not as important as it once was. All YouTube are interested in with the subscriber numbers is that it's going up and not down. The rate at which it goes up can have an effect, but it's not too much. They're more interested in other things nowadays. Their algorithms have changed dramatically now because people were fiddling it. You know, people were selling subscribers. You know, you could pay a fee and suddenly you'd have 2,000 subscribers, sort of thing. It's cheating, basically. But, and what's more important, the bit I don't like, yes, it's cheating, well, that's down to your own conscience and your morals and all that. Some people don't have those. But it's also, people are making money out of you. People are making money from something that shouldn't happen. That's bordering on criminality, I believe, is it not? Nonetheless, it goes on, but it's a lot more difficult to fiddle the system now. The algorithms have tightened up an awful lot. And I like it as it is, non-fiddleable, so that you can almost guarantee. You can buy views, you know, don't know how people do it, but don't think so many people do it now. Much better to produce nice videos and get people to watch for genuine reasons. I don't know, Gobby's having a shout again. Probably just got out of bed basically, now it's lunchtime. Anyway, I will leave it at that for today. I'll end on it's not a sad note, it's just being practical. But Mojo is old now and he is showing signs of fading. He's still eating reasonably well, which is good, but he is also losing a bit of weight now and again. And he's not looking after himself as well as he has done in the past. His fur's getting a bit greasy, he doesn't seem to wash as much. He plods around, you know, he's getting slower. So, you know, there will come a time when he's not here, basically. We have to accept that. And at least he made it through the summer, you know, you have to sort of say that. As I said, he is 20, so, you know, it's a ripe old age for a cat. So, anyway, that day will come, I don't know when. And on a brighter note, hopefully the sun's going to come out in a minute and I can go outside and do this other video for the other channel as its final swan song. And I'll see you next time. Thanks for dropping by.